Hello, Internet. How are we this random Saturday evening? I usually don't do a stream on Saturday, but it's kind of felt like it, and I'm not going to be doing one tomorrow. So why not? Why not? We have some stuff we got to talk about. I've been meaning to get into the Haiti stuff for a while. Terry Wallace, you wanted me to, so I might as well. We're going to talk about some Haiti stuff tonight. Got other stuff I wanted to get into as well. Got to get into some California crap. Lots of California crap. Lots of California gun law stuff that I want to talk about. But how is everybody doing tonight? Let's see. Make sure we're streaming on all the platforms. Looks like we're good on YouTube, and I don't care about YouTube. It also looks like we are good over on X and Rumble. So, all right, let's get right into it. If you're here or if you're new to the show, I would much appreciate well, you know what? If you're new to the show, don't give it a thumbs up yet. Wait until maybe halfway into the show, and I'll remind you again. But if you guys want to help out the algorithm, please give the show a like, a repost, subscribe to the channel, what have you, all that good stuff. And yeah, jump in the chat. I love to hear from you guys. It makes the show much more entertaining for myself as well. Last night was a doozy. I don't think I put that much research and effort into a show since my MK Uncle Ted show. That was I did a lot of background on that one as well. But yeah, last night was a doozy. That one sent me down the rabbit hole, and I'm actually still down the rabbit hole on that one. I'm still looking into stuff because it's a never-ending one. But I'll probably end up doing a follow-up episode on that one. And I decided tonight that I want to do a mass formation episode because I came across a post before we get into the Haiti stuff. I came across a post that it genuinely broke my heart. I'm like, it seriously made me sad reading it. And it just reminded me because it made me more sad because it's a local Californian and it's a runner. And well, I got sympathy for all my California friends, even the ones that sort of went cuckoo from all the COVID nonstop hysteria that we were put through. But runners, I got a soft spot in my heart for all runners. I mean, even my running partner that doesn't seem to want to run with me too often anymore. She's a leftist, but you know, she says she still loves me, but you know, she seems to be distancing herself from me. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll probably run again, and I'm in bad shape right now anyway. But I came across this post, and I got to talk about it a little bit because yeah, it did break my heart. If you guys are out there, go ahead and jump in the chat and say hi. I would much appreciate it. But let's get right into it. And I reposted it, so I'll read what I wrote first, just to sort of set the scene. So, if you're a Californian, you know, especially if you didn't take the jab, you understand how it was everywhere. It was nonstop. Everywhere you turned, everywhere you looked, COVID hysteria, mask hysteria, vaccine hysteria. I'm talking billboards, electronic billboards. There's a billboard. It might still be up. I'm not sure. It might still be up, but out near Lodi, my buddy Chris sent it to me because on his way to his duck club. And I mean, this thing was up like 3 months ago, and I kid you not, it says exercise is hard. Getting vaccinated is easy. Like, that was a real billboard on Highway 5 in California. Like, how can you think that is a good message to send people? And that was another thing, that if you didn't get the jab and you're bombarded with this nonstop propaganda all the time in California, and you're a healthy person that wasn't scared of COVID, like, at all. I think we were all maybe a little bit scared of it in the beginning, but as time went on, it was just like, especially if you're healthy and fit, good cardio, you just weren't scared of it for the most part. And that message out there was so sinister. Exercise is hard, getting vaccinated is easy, because it goes against everything I stand for. I think you're supposed to go out and choose to do difficult things. That's how we become better humans. That's how we prepare for hard things that happen to us in our lives, and it makes us better equipped to deal with those hard things. This whole message was completely antithetical to my way of living. And then on top of it, during this whole thing, there was very, very little talk of, hey, you know, you're at home. There's never been a better time to quit drinking so much, to quit smoking, even though there's evidence that nicotine actually helped people. It's not the point. There's never been a better time to get healthy, start exercising, get fit, lose some pounds, because we all know that obese people didn't do too well during it. So that whole message, I wonder if it's still up. If any of you guys have seen it over on Highway 5 out near Lodi, it was, getting exercise is hard, getting vaccinated is easy. It crushed me. It crushed me when my buddy sent it to me. I thought it was photoshopped at first, but this is a post I saw earlier, and I just reposted it and said, the level of COVID propaganda in California, Californians were subjected to is hard to put into words. It was everywhere you looked, and it destroyed people's minds. It's not a joke when I say some people will never recover. Permanent psychological trauma has been done to so many people, and they are never coming back. Crimes against humanity. So I reposted this, and this is from, you guys go give her a follow if you get a chance. I don't know how big her account is. Let's see. She doesn't have a huge account, so give her some love. And this post is fairly viral, I would say. It's doing really well, but it's a super sad story. So it's a one of two, and she says, COVID was the death blow to my marriage. Soon I'll be another silent statistic. I stopped fearing the virus during summer of 2020. He remained afraid. I was angry that an unelected social worker could force mask me and my children. He didn't mind. I quit my dream job over the vaccine mandate and was blacklisted from my industry. I know that feeling. He yelled at me for 3 months straight until I found a new job. The infuriating thing is none of this had to happen, but some things once broken can't be fixed. And she's got a tear emoji. It's just, this breaks my heart reading this. How could, as a man, how can you let this happen to you? How can you let this happen to you? How can you let this happen to your kids? It ruined their marriage. And, this just crushes me. This absolutely crushes me. And I never met him, but somebody that I follow and interact with a lot, Dr. David Hemedi, he says, OMG, Aviva, are you serious? My wife and I, let's see what he said. My wife and I would joke that if we had disagreed on COVID, it would have harmed us, but we wouldn't have seen, but we hadn't seen an actual example. While we lost many, often close friendships over such disagreements, never have we pictured this. I'm so sorry. Any way to revive it. And she says our marriage has always had its challenges, but also strengths. Differences about COVID and the related politicizations of everything made it worse. It's COVID broke people. COVID absolutely broke people, and people behaved horribly towards the very small percentage of us. There's only 19% of us, according to usafacts.com. I don't know how accurate it is, but I would feel that it's pretty accurate. Most people in California got vaccinated, and apparently I'm sorry, I said vaccinated, took the shot. I need to stop saying that because it wasn't a vaccine. Only 19% of us said no. That's a very small percent. You're surrounded. You're completely surrounded. There's 2 out of 10 people. So it's the majority of people you run into took the shot. And I've said it before, those of us that didn't take the shot those people that did take the shot and just went along with everything will never truly understand what it was like for those of us that didn't take the shot, and how we were ostracized from society, how we were demonized. We weren't allowed into restaurants. Many of us sacrificed our careers to stand up for what we believe in. All of this. It was very hard. It was psychologically difficult for so many of us. And people will never truly understand what that was like. We were discriminated against. And when you say that, you're met with eye rolling by the same people that demonized you. So that's one of the reasons why when I see people walking around with masks on, I'm going to take a picture of you and I'm going to put it on the internet. Maybe if you get embarrassed enough, you'll stop wearing the mask. And then if you realize, hey, I decided that I don't want to be embarrassed, and that's more important than whatever safety this mask provides me, then maybe they'll rethink their whole thing. Maybe the mask wasn't really that important. It's a freaking cult at this point. It's a psychological thing that happened to people, and some people will never recover, like this woman's husband. So yeah, I need to do a whole episode on this, because this is the whole mass formation thing, and I want to go into the whole psychology of it. A lot of us, I think unfortunately, a lot of us that were lied to earlier on in our lives by someone that was never supposed to lie to us. People that we were supposed to trust. I've talked about before. I had my reality broken when I was a kid. I was lied to. I was told some very horrible, horrible lies by my mom, and that screwed me up when I found out that they were lies. It was like I had like not a break, but something in my brain switched. It was like immediate trust issues from then on, because the level of the lies was so severe that it was reality breaking for me. All of a sudden, my world had been turned upside down because I was told things that weren't true, that had a huge, huge impact on my life. And I think those of us that had something like that happen to us, had something highly traumatic happen to us when we were younger, it put us in a position to see the bullshit, to sniff this shit out from the beginning. And it was just like, wait a minute, why are you pushing this so hard? Why are you pushing this propaganda on us so hard? And we were able to recognize that this is propaganda, and we immediately stepped back and started looking at this through that lens, through the, yeah, you guys are highly, highly suspicious. Why are you so extra about all of this? And so I think in a way, a lot of us were fortunate that we were psychologically damaged before COVID. So we were able to sniff out the bullshit. So yeah, I could talk about this all show. I want to do a whole deep dive into this, talking about narcissistic abuse or cluster B disorders. And that helped a lot too. Leading up to all this crap, I've just decided to buy the DSM-5, and I got really into Sam Vaknin and started listening to a lot of Sam Vaknin lectures and just learning about people with cluster B disorders and what they do to the people around them. And I think these last 4 years created a lot more cluster Bs out there. It's something like, I think they say it's something like between 2 and 4% of people have some sort of cluster B disorder, like narcissism, borderline personality disorder, actual psychopaths. I don't know. I don't think a psychopath is a cluster B disorder. That's something different, but it's a small percentage of people out there that don't feel empathy, but it's, I think it's much higher. I think it's like 10%. And if I'm right, that means 1 in 10 people that you meet, they don't feel nothing. They don't feel empathy. They're dead inside, essentially. It's like when you think about people that don't have an inner monologue like that. My brain can't comprehend people that don't have an inner monologue. But yeah, okay, I'll stop rambling about that one. So how's everybody doing tonight? We doing good? Let's check back in with the chat here, see if anybody's all right. Trilovision. Let's see. I work a California corporate job that was demanding I got vaxxed and report my vax status. It was bullshit. 10% of people, 10% have an extremely disagreeable personality that's hardwired. They were never going to vax. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm disagreeable, but I'm not agreeable. I have no problem telling people, no, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong. Tangerine Shine. Nice to see him, man. Nicotine helped me get through COVID. Oh, that's funny. It relieves the racing heart feeling I had. Yeah. And I mean, that's an aspect of it too, is, they isolated us. They tried to scare the crap out of us. They turned society against us. And then all of a sudden you're dealing with like a crisis in your mind. You're alone. You got no one to talk to. You feel like nobody understands you. And I mean, I'm already a loner, and I like to be alone, and I go on runs and do hard stuff. So I mean, it was hard for me, don't get me wrong, but and I got my dogs, so that was highly fortunate. I mean, I kind of stopped liking people before COVID, so that was more of a plus for me. But yeah, it was extremely tough for me because I mean, I lost my dad right in the beginning of it, and my dad was like my rock. You know, I talked to my dad almost every day, and that was super hard for me. And my girlfriend packed her stuff and left, and yeah, it was. I mean, it was rough for so many of us. It was just, and I don't think people will really get how hard it was on so many of us that refused to take it. And yeah, well, that's that. That's enough of that one. I'll quit blabbing about that one. Let's get into the Haiti stuff, shall we? Let's talk about how Haiti has fallen into a dystopian nightmare. So let's see. I got everything all out of order here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let's go over to Bad Hombre here on X. All right. So we're going to start off with he just sort of gives a rundown of from the Haiti earthquake way back in the day. What was that, 2009? And Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation and all that crap. So it's from Bad Hombre here on Twitter. That's at JOMA_GC, at JOMAGC. Haiti is in the news, so here's a quick timeline of Haiti since 2009. Notice Hillary Clinton is featured prominently. 2009, Secretary of State Clinton makes Haiti a top diplomatic priority. January 2010, a devastating earthquake that claims 220,000 lives decimates Haiti. The Clinton Foundation raises $30 million for Haiti relief that goes largely unaccounted for. November 2010, Hillary Clinton endorses Michael Martley, but he comes in third place and does not qualify for the runoff election scheduled for March 2011. January 2011, Hillary Clinton travels to Haiti, meets with President Preval, and threatens to cut off aid if Martley is not on the ballot. Celestin is dropped from the ballot, and Martley is placed on the ballot. March 2011, Martley wins an election marred by voter fraud where 650,000 ghost ballots were counted, including many who died in the earthquake. 2011 through 2016. Martley administration is plagued with corruption scandals mainly centered around accepting bribes in exchange for construction project deals that never materialized and working with criminal gangs to commit human rights violations. Sorry, I might have to pause, guys. My dog just let out a whimper, and I don't know why. I have an old 15-year-old dog, and she takes priority over everything. Continue. 2016. Martley resigns and flees to Florida a week before his term is set to expire. You know what? That reminds me. Scarlett didn't say hi. It's because I turned the little space heater on. She loves that thing. She will not move if I point the space heater at her. She loves it. Okay, sorry. Martley resigns and flees to Florida a week before his term is set to expire. June 2016, the results of a special election are annulled after an audit found extensive voter fraud. November 2016 through 2020, Jovenel Moise wins new elections. He begins enacting agrarian reforms, establishing free trade zones, fighting corruption, and arresting narcotics and human traffickers. July 7th, 2021. 6 months after Joe Biden takes office, 28 foreign, mostly Colombian mercenaries storm the presidential palace and assassinate President Moise. Moise, I don't know how to say his name, but okay. July 7th through 21st, 2021. Departing PM Claude Joseph takes over as president for 14 days, but stands down in favor of Ariel Henry, who was supported by the United States 2 days before his murder. Moise had chosen Henry to be prime minister. 2021. Gangs begin carving out the nation's capital, Port-au-Prince. February 2024, Claude Joseph and Moise's widow are indicted for plotting Moise's assassination. March 2024, Henry travels to Kenya to sign an agreement for 1,000 troops to help restore order in the Haitian capital, but is unable to return home due to security concerns. Henry remains stranded in Puerto Rico as warring gangs wrestle for control of the government with human flesh-eating gang leader Barbecue poised to take over. Okay, so that's where I just became a little suspect, and I could be completely wrong about this, but I'll go to my post here. Let me hold on. My dog's on the move here. Let's see what she's doing. Okay, Chiefs. Okay. Oh, okay. You good girl? All right. I got a 15-year-old German Shepherd, and yeah, she's up there. She doesn't have too much time left. Okay. Let's keep going here. Check on the chat here. All right, let's see. Okay. So oops. I was a little suspicious because it seemed like this whole cannibalism thing was being like, it just seemed suspicious to me because everybody was talking about the Haitian cannibals and all this, making it seem like everybody in Haiti's running around killing people and eating them. It seems that does seem to be true, but it seemed like it was being sensationalized quite a bit, and by some of the same talking heads who have repeatedly lied to us. So I became a little suspicious, and I just had to say, let's see. So I put out this post, and I could be completely wrong about this. Again, I'll just say, but here, let me play this clip of him first. So this is Barbecue talking here. The guy that they said the gang leader, they call him Barbecue. So, he's walking down the street and he's got some lackey wiping his face. So, yeah, it's not exactly a good sign. He's clearly some sort of, I don't know. If you got somebody following you around to wipe the sweat off your face, you're a little, it's a bit much, but let's listen to him talk. So he says, today we are taking the occasion to tell the international community to give Haiti a chance. Because what is happening in Haiti now is we Haitians have to decide. We Haitians are going to have to decide who is going to lead the country and what model government we want. We are going to figure it out. How to get Haiti, what did you say, Haiti built? How to get Haiti out of the misery it is in now. If the international community continues on this road you are now on, it will plunge into Haiti. I'm sorry, it'll plunge Haiti into further chaos. So, I mean, I interpret that of him saying like, hey, Hillary Clinton and the CIA or intelligence agencies, stop overthrowing our democratically elected government. That's the way I interpreted that. And, I just said, like, I said, this does not sound like an irrational man. Are we being manipulated into thinking these are the bad guys when they are in fact trying to save their country? And yeah, I could be completely wrong about this. This guy could be running around murdering people and eating them as cannibals. But I haven't seen any videos of this particular guy doing the whole cannibal thing. I have seen videos of, I'm not going to show them either, of other people eating human flesh. But from my understanding, those videos are old. I guess there are people that are actually doing this though, and they aren't doing it. Not that this makes much of a difference, but they're not doing it because they're starving. It's almost worse. They're not doing it because they're starving. They're doing it as like a, I conquered you type thing and like a shock and awe type thing. But I don't know. Something seems off about this whole thing, what we're being told about it. And yeah, so I'm going to play this whole video from Redacted because he's been following this for a long time. I forget this guy's name, but what is it? Dan Cohen 3000. Yeah. Dan Cohen. He's been looking into Haiti for a long time. So I'm probably going to play this whole video. It's a bit long, but, we got nothing but time, right, folks? Let's see. Don't say the H word. You sound pretty based. What? Why? Because I said Haiti? Why? I don't get it. Okay. All right. Let's play this video from Dan Cohen here from Redacted. You guys, this is a good, he does a good little show.
Well, for months now, we here at Redacted have been reporting that an invasion of Haiti is coming. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it was going to happen. And well, over the weekend, the invasion appears to be inching closer. Canada, which has been coordinating its moves with the Biden administration, deployed military aircraft over
Matty Bracco, the old H word. I don't know what that means. I don't know, Matty Bracco.
For Haiti this weekend. It released a statement even saying this is all to disrupt, quote, the activities of gangs. They put that in their press release. Joining me now to discuss this is Redacted correspondent Dan Cohen, who's one of the few journalists to report from Haiti and not too long ago just returned from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Dan, welcome to the show. First of all, what do you make of this press release and the timing of this?
Well, it's really interesting to see that Canada made this move in a very public way, because up until this point, it's been very quiet, hush hush behind the scenes. When the Biden administration, including Blinken.
Oh, Matty Bracco, don't say Hillary. No way. I will say Hillary all day. I don't care. My YouTube account is so small, and well, none of my accounts pay me. Even X, I get like 50 bucks. I just got like 50 bucks from X. So I don't get paid from any of this stuff. So if they nuke my YouTube account, I do not care. So I will say Hillary Clinton's a war criminal. Hillary Clinton is a demon. I will say all of those things. It's fine. Don't worry.
Biden himself and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan went to Mexico last month to meet with their Canadian and Mexican counterparts. Haiti was, of course, on the agenda. And when Sullivan was asked about what's happening with this Haiti intervention, he was pretty mum. I quote, he said, "What I don't want to do is jam anybody, so I want them to be able to have the conversation." So he really didn't want to talk about it. Now, that is in total contrast to now this very public announcement from the Canadian Foreign Ministry, and that was pushed out through all of the mainstream media channels. So I think what this is about is really testing the water, is probing to see what the reaction is. The plane that the Canadians deployed is.
Oh, come on. Well, that doesn't usually happen. Did I lose my internet connection? Am I still live, you guys? Let's see.
Called a C-140 Aurora. So it's a
what the heck is going on?
Long-range patrol aircraft that is used for various types of missions, over land, over water.
Casey Martin, nice to see you. This plane is awesome. I love this plane, by the way.
According to the Canadian Foreign Ministry's release, they say that it is used not only for gathering intelligence and surveillance, but actually has strike capabilities. So this is obviously, I would say, a threat, if not a thinly veiled threat against Haiti. And the person that this is against is Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier. This is the figure that the U.S. Desperately wants to either arrest, imprison, assassinate one way or the other, to get rid of and smash into a million pieces the armed movement, the revolutionary forces of the G9 family and allies that he leads.
Okay, so this is exactly what I was saying. So it seems that they are trying to paint this guy in a certain light. That doesn't mean the guy's not a bad guy. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's not a freaking cannibal. I kind of highly doubt that he is, though, because that's just like, who wants to eat humans? But remember, like Muammar Gaddafi wasn't a good guy. You know, I think we could all say that he wasn't a good guy. Saddam Hussein wasn't a good guy. We overthrew them, took them out of power, and their countries descended into chaos. This is what we do. This is what the CIA and intelligence agencies do. They overthrow. Look what they did to Iran. Look what they did to the Shah. Like Iran used to, back in the 60s and 70s, Iran used to be like a hippy dippy Western type country. Now look at it. That's because we installed that leadership. And now it's like, oh, Hezbollah. It's everything. We always support people, and it like ISIS, right? We always side with these rebels, arm them, and give them Toyota Helixes and mount M4s in the back or whatever gun. And then all of a sudden they're the enemy, you know, a few years later. This is what we do. So it's not saying that this barbecue guy is a good dude or anything like that, but if he can improve Haiti, like leave Haiti alone. Like leave him alone, you guys. And look at what happened to all the damn money that we were supposed that Jim Carrey and I think Mike Myers and all those celebrities did, like the phone, you know, like they did this big phone charity thing trying to get people to donate for Haiti, much like Lahaina with Oprah and The Rock. Hey, where's all their money? What happened to that? They start these foundations where they open a bank account. Everybody contribute to Haiti. And then none of the money ever gets to Haiti or Lahaina. And then somehow these people get richer. Weird how that works out. And then they overthrow whatever leader looks like is going to take power. It kind of looks like that's what's happening here.
Which represents a threat to kind of the U.S.-led order in Haiti. So I spoke to Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier late Sunday night and got his reaction to this Canadian warplane. Let's take a listen to what he said.
So firstly, for myself as president and spokesperson of the Revolutionary Forces and the G9 family and allies, as a patriot and person who loves this country, we are against any military intervention by any country against the Haitian people.
Toute intervention, n'importe qui pays l'État, nous contre toute intervention militaire contre peuple haïtien.
Today, they're using gangs as a pretext to invade the country. We too are aware that there are many violent gangs that are terrorizing the population. They rape people, they kidnap people, and they kill people for no reason. It is all the politicians and the oligarchs that have put them into the country. Hello? Okay. Does this sound like an unreasonable man? I mean, again, he could be a horrible person, but he seems to be indicating that, yeah, these are like foreign invaders that are purposefully put into our country, like the Cloward Pippin strategy, kind of like what's happening to all these Western countries, that they're bringing all these migrants in from all over the place, people that don't know the culture. It's like they're trying to overwhelm the systems and wreak chaos. Sound familiar, guys?
So Cherizier's point is that the talk about gangs is really a pretext for military intervention, military invasion against Haiti, against the Haitian people, against the Haitian masses. And curiously, over the last week or so, after months of the mainstream media wanting nothing to do, not approaching Cherizier, they published 3 interviews. The AP, Al Jazeera, and Sky News all published interviews. They approached Cherizier for interviews, and he granted them. And he is the only so-called gang leader who does that. And they called him a gang leader. And in all of the headlines, he's a gang leader. He's a gang leader.
For our audience that doesn't know, I mean, we've been trying to educate our audience on this story for the last number of months. The media has totally ignored this story. We were the only news organization covering this story. And when it's really remarkable that suddenly now 3 news organizations within a week, almost as if it's coordinated.
So, like the AP talking there, this is why I was so suspicious about it. I didn't know anything about this, but all of a sudden I see like the AP, MSNBC, all the other corporate press talking heads are all saying this barbecue guy is eating people. I'm like, what? I mean, that sounds a little crazy. It sounds a little crazy that this guy is eating people. And then I listened to him talk, and he's talking about how he wants to fix his country. These gangs are killing people and raping people, and he's against foreign intervention. I'm like, well, this guy doesn't sound so off his rocker. This guy doesn't sound like somebody that goes out and kills people and eats them. Maybe the people that have been lying to us for freaking decades are lying to us now.
Suddenly decide to descend on Haiti to do interviews, and they specifically go after Jimmy Cherizier, and they paint him as a gang leader, as a pretext. And that's the way I see it as well, is that it's a pretext for an invasion, painting him as the bad guy. We need to go there and provide peacekeepers and really make sure everyone's okay, and we're going to be there to take care of this
peacekeepers
guy. Who is Jimmy Cherizier? Is he a gang leader, or is he a representative of the Haitian people?
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. This is manufacturing consent in action is what we're seeing. You're right, Clayton. Jimmy Cherizier,
everyone should read that book,
is a former cop who basically got burned by the system after being kind of a straight shooter, straight arrow.
Oh, he's a former cop.
For a lot of years and trying to do his best within the system. They burned him. They basically needed a sacrificial lamb. And this is what we show in the documentary Another Vision Inside Haiti's Uprising, which gives the background to the current moment, which I made with Haiti Liberté. And Jimmy Cherizier formed this federation of armed groups called the G9 that is totally opposed to criminal activity, to kidnapping, to extortion of businesses and merchants, to rape, which, sadly, these things are very common. And there are a lot of real gangs, what you could call gangs, criminal armed groups. And these are the groups that are against
Casey Martin. They're trying to get violent gangs to flee to the U.S. Well, we're going to get into that in a bit.
Jimmy Cherizier and the G9. I mean, I could list off a whole bunch of them. There's Vitellome Innocent, who just killed several cops in Haiti just in the past couple weeks. There is Izo in the leader of the 5 Seconds gang in Village des Dieux, who is a regular kidnapper. There's the 400 Mauzo, who kidnapped 17 North American missionaries in 2021. None of them are under sanctions, yet Jimmy Barbecue and none of them ever are approached for interviews because they are real gang leaders.
And of course, and the Western media and Canada, the United Nations, the United States aren't interested.
I just got to say, I'm a little jealous of Mr. Cohen's camera. He's got a really good camera.
Interested in those people, the actual gangs. They're interested in the ones that are representing the people.
And his microphone. I want that microphone. Everybody has that microphone.
Who would want to push Western influence out of Haiti, right? Isn't that funny how that works?
Exactly. They never approach those guys for interview, for a nice sit down interview, because you can't. It's too dangerous. They'll kidnap you. They'll, demand millions of dollars from your family.
Again, I think my internet connection sucks.
Or whatever. That's why none of these correspondents go to meet and sit down with any of these real gangsters who are hardened criminals. They only go to Cherizier, who continues to say, yeah, I'll sit down with you and I'll show you the neighborhood I live in. I'll show you the slums of Port-au-Prince, and you can see the crushing poverty, and you can communicate that to your audience because, we want.
What's crazy is, Haiti could be a beautiful country. It's, it's mountainous, or it's like tons of vegetation, right? Got beautiful ocean, or, beautiful coastline. It could be a very beautiful country.
Want the international community to treat Haiti as a normal country and not treat it as a piggy bank, as a place to just exploit and take wealth from. But no, he's called a gang leader, and that's all about manufacturing consent for this imminent invasion. I think basically the United States is in a difficult spot with Haiti because it knows that it doesn't, if it goes into Haiti or Canada with a full force and just invades, it's going to spark an uprising. The Haitian masses, Haitian people do not want foreign intervention. They will wholly reject it, and that will rally people around Jimmy Cherizier, which is the last thing that the U.S. wants to do. So it's in this tight spot of, well, on one hand, we want to take this guy out, but we have to do it with a very soft touch. So all this negotiation behind the scenes and deploying this warplane is all about figuring out how they're going to do it and how they're going to basically get an element inside the Haitian National Police, which is an anemic force, to be able to carry out this hit. So there have been a number of trainings going on, and the U.S. Has been seeking to train like a SWAT team, a so-called anti-gang SWAT team inside the Haitian National Police, and that.
The U.S. You mean the CIA? They're arming rebels. This is the same playbook that we've seen 1,000 times. And then these same people that they arm and train, they're going to be called, they'll be demonized in a couple of years, and we'll be fighting against them.
Was pushed very hard by the former U.S. Special Envoy to Haiti, Dan Foote, who I interviewed in September, and he told me that this is all happening. So it's a matter of time.
Literally like assassination training camp right now that the United States is preparing in order to take out Jimmy Cherizier.
Huh.
Like, this is
exactly
unbelievable.
The CIA assassinating people? No.
And I guess I should ask you, what is the agenda? What is the hope from the United States and Canada in all of this? What do they hope to accomplish in Haiti? Is it to continue to just pillage all of their natural resources and keep them in total poverty?
Exactly. I mean, when you go to Haiti, when you go to the slums, you go to Cité Soleil, and other ones, I mean, the conditions are unreal. So there are a few aspects to it. You have the sweatshops where foreign corporations make enormous amounts of money. You have the sort of geopolitical consideration that they don't want Haiti, which has always served as an example of freedom for the world, which is the only successful slave revolution and took part in freedom movements throughout the Western Hemisphere. And you also have, one aspect that doesn't get talked about is the biopharma industry that loves to use Haiti to test its products. To basically go into these slums and say, oh, there's sewage everywhere, and people are getting cholera and this disease and that disease. And instead of actually fixing the conditions, which frankly would not be very difficult, they say, we're going to test drugs.
While it's trying to
on you. So that's another aspect.
So they have an incentive to keep Haiti in poverty so they can use them for essentially slave labor, and they can test pharmaceutical products on them. Okay.
Of it. So they just want to keep the status quo of poverty and exploitation in Haiti. That's the whole game.
Well, we will continue to follow the story and hold their feet to the fire covering this story. It's incredibly important. I just find the timing don't you find it so interesting that these three news organizations, the Associated Press, Sky News, and who was the other one? All with
AP, Al Jazeera, and Sky News. Yeah.
Yeah. All at the same time. It's like they're handed something from the deep state. It's like they're handed something from the intelligence community. Here's a story. You might want to go and cover this. We actually encourage you to go and cover this. And they all fall in line. Almost within a day, they're down there covering this story.
Yeah. Kind of talked about this for about 2 hours last night.
An interview with him. It's crazy.
And all the same headline saying this is gang leader, the most feared gang leader. So it's so predictable. It's like trite. I want to challenge those guys. Why don't you go to Izo? Why don't you go to Tilapli? Why don't you go to any of the real criminal gangsters and walk into their neighborhood? The AP went and they actually Cherizier declined their request at first. And you know what they did? They just showed up at in his neighborhood, uninvited, and Sharizi was graceful about it. He said, "Okay, I'll do the interview with you. Go to Village des Deux. Go to where go to other neighborhoods that are not gonna, the leader is not gonna guarantee your safety, where you're likely to get kidnapped and maybe killed, and see what happens." So it's just shameful.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Well, we will continue to cover this story and hopefully bring light and shed light on it. And hopefully Americans who are watching this story can share it and realize that there is another side to this story, not the one they're being fed by the mainstream media. Dan Cohen, and by the way, I should mention, Dan is a new member of the Redacted team officially, our Washington correspondent from Washington, D.C. He's done a great job for us over the past year, and we brought...
I'm sorry. I mistakenly called the host here, the guy with the good camera and the fancy jacket. I called him Mr. Cohen. I don't know his name.
Brought him on officially to join the Redacted team. So welcome aboard, Dan, and thank you so much for your great work. We're thrilled to have you.
I couldn't ask for a better team, and I appreciate all the support and the freedom that I've been given since the beginning of our collaboration, and I'm excited to grow with Redacted and see what we can do.
Well, wonderful. Well, we're thrilled to have you here so much. Thank you.
All right. Follow these guys. They do good reporting. You don't hear too many people talking about this side of the Haiti story. I mean, I was very disappointed in Tim Pool's reporting of this. It's just so milquetoast about it. And I've been a fan of Tim Pool for a long time, but it just really seems like he's been phoning it in lately. Just very milquetoast about everything, not going into detail. Just very disappointing, extremely disappointing with Tim Pool's reporting on this and Tim Pool's reporting on Israel. So let's keep going here. So let's go over to Chalkboard Heresy on X here. And this isn't funny, but it's pretty par for the course here. All right. Okay. Keep going here. So this is from Chalkboard Heresy, and he writes, woman goes to Haiti to write about rape and Haiti being exaggerated, gets raped repeatedly by Haitian men, blames it on misdirected black rage against white people, says she is grateful for the experience. And it's not an exaggeration. This is what happened to her. So this is Amanda something or other. Let's see, my internet connection is slow tonight. So 2 weeks ago on Monday morning, I started to write what I thought was a very clear editorial about violence against women in Haiti. The case, I believed, was being overstated by women's organizations in need of additional resources, ever committed to preserving the dignity of black men in a world which constantly stereotypes them as violent savages. I viewed this writing as one more opportunity to fight the man on behalf of my brothers. That night, before I could finish the piece, I was held on a rooftop in Haiti and raped repeatedly by one of the very men who I had spent the bulk of my life advocating for. She continues, truly, I have witnessed as a journalist and human rights advocate the many injustices inflicted upon black men in this world. The pain, trauma, and rage born of exploitation are terrors that I have grappled with every day of my life. They make one want to strike back, to fight rabidly for what is left in their personal dignity in the wake of such things. Black men have every right to the anger they feel in response to their position in the global hierarchy, but their anger is misdirected. Women are not the source of their oppressive policies, and the as yet unaddressed white patriarchy, which still dominates the global stage, because women and particularly women of color are forced to bear the brunt of the black male response to the black male plight. The international community and those nations who have benefited from the oppression of colonized people have a responsibility to provide women with the protection that they need. Continue. I went to Haiti after the earthquake to empower Haitians to self-sufficiency. I went to remind them that many of the great contributions of the Afro descendants have made to this world and of their amazing resilience, the strength as a people. Not once did I envision myself becoming a receptacle for a black man's rage at the white world. This chick sounds racist to me. Like the one that's trying to talk about, she just sounds racist. It's almost like there's rapists in every culture. I wonder if she would have went to visit Barbecue and talked to him if he would have let his men rape her. Probably not. She was probably manipulated by the media into thinking those are the bad guys. Go talk to the gang members. But that is what I became. While I take issue with my brother's behavior, I am grateful for the experience. I'm sorry, what did you just say? You're grateful for the experience? That's a weird kink. What the hell? It woke me up, made me understand on a deeper level the terror that my sisters deal with daily. This in hand, I feel comfortable in speaking for Haitian women and say for myself in saying that we will not be your pawns racially, politically, economically, or otherwise. We are women, not weapons of war. Thankfully, there are organizations here in Haiti who continues to fight for women's human rights, Madre, SOFA, and Info, whatever. Oh, geez. Okay. Incredible. Incredible. Let's continue. So this is from Julio Rosas over in the Dominican Republic. And isn't that where the former president is currently at? Because he can't return to Haiti. Isn't he in the Dominican Republic? So it says the Dominican Republic is carrying out a massive deportation operation for Haitians who are in the country illegally, dropping them off at the border by the truckload. Let's watch this quick 1-minute video.
As Haiti's political future hangs in the balance, the neighboring Dominican Republic is cracking down on undocumented Haitians, rounding them up and sending them back to their country.
¿Qué pasó? Que nos tratan como perros.
They treat us like dogs, this man told us after he was released, adding we were detained since yesterday with no food, nothing.
This is the fourth truck that we've seen here in just the past 4 hours. This is a scene that happens every day here at the border.
Earlier in the day, this woman collapsed as she was being taken off an overcrowded immigration truck. Haitian-American Dana Josephs happened to be driving by, put her in the back of his truck, and rushed her to the hospital.
It could be my family, but even though I don't even know her. So this is my car that I have to use just to save her life. I'll do it.
These scenes at the border comes at a moment of desperation for Haiti after a coalition of Haitian stakeholders and international leaders, including the U.S.
Oh, who was that?
As Haiti's political...
It could be my family, but even though I don't even know her. So this is my car that I have to use just to save her life. I'll do it.
These scenes at the border comes at a moment of desperation for Haiti after a coalition of Haitian stakeholders and international leaders.
Oh, who do we got here? Interesting.
Leaders, including the U.S.
All right, let's keep going here. I got a ton to get through. This will probably be like a 2-hour show tonight, folks. So this is from Bill Malugan. He says, breaking per the Department of Homeland Security, sources to me and Griff Jenkins, the Haitian man arrested for raping a 15-year-old disabled girl at the Migrant Hotel in Massachusetts Wednesday night, came to the U.S. via the Biden administration's parolee program for Haitians, which allowed him to fly into JFK Airport in New York City direct from Haiti in June of 2023 with a 2-year parolee grant. We're told that ICE has now filed a detainer on 26-year-old Corey B. Alvarez with local authorities, and that he had a sponsor listed in New Jersey as part of his parole. The Biden administration's controversial CHNV parolee program allows up to 30,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans to fly into the U.S. after they've supposedly been vetted and have a sponsor in the U.S. The recipients typically receive 2-year humanitarian parole grants, which allow them to apply for work authorization and live in the U.S. according to the CBP data. At least 138,000 Haitians have been brought to the U.S. since the start of the Biden administration's program in 2023. 138,000 Haitians have been brought to the U.S. since the start of the Biden administration's program in 2023. This is a parole program. They're bringing in Haitian criminals, 138,000 of them. This is on top of the people coming across the border, the 8 million people that have come across the border under Biden's. This is the Cloward Pittman strategy. You can't say this stuff isn't by design. And this is the Biden administration, the CIA, the UN, all this. Yeah, give me my tinfoil hat. I don't care. This is by design. They are trying to collapse our nation. Everything that the CIA does to other countries to try and collapse and destabilize countries, that's now being done in the U.S. on this massive scale. It's clear as day. Like everything that's happening now is clear as day. It's intentional. You can't say it's not, and everybody's going to realize it but it's going to be too late. I reached out to CBP and the Department of Homeland Security for comment yesterday and have not heard back. This is Mr. Alvarez here. Let's keep going. Unfreaking believable. All right, let's go over to Wall Street Apes. So he says, report, intelligence sources say that the U.S. Coast Guard has been ordered to follow Haiti illegal immigrants to the coast and allow them to enter America through southern Florida. Intelligence sources say that the U.S. Coast Guard has been ordered by who? Who has the Coast Guard been ordered to follow the Haitians and allow them in? You guys, it's on purpose. A source, U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Okay, here, let's just go to the video.
A source in U.S. Customs and Border Protection, very well placed, who is telling me that the orders are to have the Coast Guard follow the boats to Florida and let them land. We'll see if that holds, but there are
hold it.
Steve Bannon's like, what? Huh? What?
Hang on. Slow down. Repeat that. You're saying a well-placed source is confirming your worst fear, which is the Coast Guard will basically be a convoy service and allow them to set foot in the United States, in which we have the whole madness of the paroles and all that. Is that?
Oh, you thought Border Patrol were the only human traffickers. Nope. Welcome to the party, Coast Guard. You are now human traffickers as well.
Is that what you're hearing from senior sources?
MVP frontline guys are being told that that's what's going to happen. A source in.
Okay. So that's the Haiti situation. It seems Haiti has been destabilized and Hillary Clinton's been meddling in their business and not allowing them to democratically elect whoever they wanted for about a decade now. They raised a ton of money for them that never actually got to Haiti. We've been continually destabilizing them. It looks like they're demonizing the one man that appears to be trying to fix the country, and they're trying to label him the enemy while they got all these other gangs running around that are raping and eating people. And they are allowing a ton of people that are fleeing Haiti to come to America. And it seems that we've granted 138,000 Haitians some sort of amnesty here in the United States and put them on a parole program, which means they're former criminals, and we're giving them money and housing and all that kind of stuff. Is that right? Do I have that summed up pretty accurately? This is insane. Yeah, it's insane. Par for the course. Okay. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Let's see. But Michael, we are the good guys. Our government would never do that. Yeah, no kidding. Casey Martin, Stockholm Syndrome. Who's got Stockholm Syndrome? CIA playbook in effect in Haiti. They're trying to get violent Haitians to flee to the U.S. Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's, yeah, it's freaking unbelievable. No. It's completely believable. It's completely believable what they're doing. It's just psychotic. It's absolutely psychotic. Okay, let's keep going here. That's all I got for Haiti tonight. I don't want to talk about that topic anymore. It's just starting to bother me a lot. Yeah, let's talk about some California stuff, shall we? I think that's what I want to talk about next. Let's see. I got a bunch of California stuff pulled up that I need to talk about. Where is it though? Okay, here it is. So I've got a few articles that I want to read. All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw it. I'll put it up on screen. Might as well. So this is from K-Ron Channel 4. Those dirtbags. They fired somebody I like a lot a long time ago. I won't mention names, but K-Ron is they propaganda. But we'll read this article. So we're talking about California stuff now, and we'll start off with that hellhole, San Francisco. San Francisco dumps sewage into bay at alarming rate, environmental advocates say. Huh, weird. Aren't the people in San Francisco the ones that are like the most outspoken about green energy and the climate and we gotta save the planet and all that crap? And you look at San Francisco and it's a dystopian freaking nightmare. And apparently they're dumping raw sewage into the bay. Let's check it out. San Francisco K-Ron. San Francisco Baykeeper said it is taking legal action against the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission and the city after sewage and trash-filled runoff flow into the bay during heavy rainstorms. Yeah, so you got shit all over the sidewalk, human feces all over the sidewalk, fentanyl needles that just get thrown all over the sidewalk. You've got people that are living in RVs just dumping out their tanks right into the sewer drains. And then when you get heavy rains, all that stuff gets washed out into the bay because San Francisco just says, it's fine. You guys are fine to just sleep on the sidewalk, do fentanyl, decay, and shit and piss everywhere. It's fine. You guys it's okay. Just keep doing that. The local nonprofit watchdog organizers said its investigation found hundreds of federal Clean Water Act violations over the last 5 winters. According to the Baykeeper, the SFPUC discharges an average of 1.2 billion gallons of combined stormwater runoff and sewage every year. About 6% of its total discharge is sewage. Holy crap. Environmental advocates say in a wet year, this is enough to fill 180 Olympic-sized swimming pools, the Baykeeper said. Stop playing in the floodwater, health officials say. Sejal Chu, Baykeeper's executive director, said, "There's no excuse for polluting the bay with sewage and trash." Yeah. And those who pollute must be held accountable. Dumping millions of gallons of untreated sewage into the Mission Creek and the bay is unacceptable, avoidable, and illegal. You see, and this is the problem with the state. The state having the authority to enact all these things because the state can shirk any laws anytime they choose. They can just do whatever they want. But if we went and was like, oh, you're dumping your tank of sewage into the storm drain here. Okay, well, here we're going to dump that right back into your RV on top of you. We're going to break your legs and we're going to kick you out of town. If we were to do that, we would get arrested, but they can do whatever they want. This is another example of anarcho-tyranny. I'm not advocating for violence. That's not what I'm saying. But when people start behaving in such a horrible way, the people around them are going to start getting pretty pissed off about it. And then if they want to go confront them and try and handle the situation themselves, because San Francisco's not going to do it, the police aren't going to do it, they will get arrested. It's anarcho-tyranny. It's just another example. Nearly all of the SFPUC's discharge flows into Mission Creek and Eyeless Creek, Baykeeper found. The nonprofit field investigators visited Mission Creek during the sewage discharge and saw the presence of fecal matter, plastic syringes, and condoms in the water. Look at this. Here's a picture. Yeah, I see this, and we have a very similar problem with the San Lorenzo River. It's freaking insane because you got a ton of, now that spring's here, winter's over, that you're going to see all these encampments going back down by the river in the benchlands, and this is what you see. It's even worse because those are like super muddy conditions. You've got little slumlords in there that run the show. People get raped all the time when they go clean out these encampments. They find bodies. This is San Francisco is dumping raw sewage and trash directly into the bay at a magnitude that's almost incomprehensible, the Baykeeper attorney Eric Bushner said. Sewage and stormwater pollution is, by volume, the single greatest source of pollution in the Bay, and San Francisco is likely the greatest source of that sewage pollution. So again, the people that act like they are the environmentalists are the ones that are responsible for the worst pollution in the Bay. Same people, the people that are preaching to you about climate change. And that's the other thing. California, San Francisco, always preaching about climate change, trying to do this offshore wind project, the Agenda 2030 crap, trying to make everybody go electric. It's all crap. It's all to line the pockets. It's all a money grab. It's all to line the pockets of the same freaking people. And it's going to harm the environment. It's all a ruse, and all the freaking libtards just fall for it. They just fall right in line, just like the ones that, oh, you want me to put the vaccine in my arm? Sure thing. Test it on me. Put it in my eyeballs. These people are psychotic, man. The San Francisco Public Utilities Commission appears to be operating on the assumption that its sewage discharges receives treatment and don't cause harm. Who wrote this article? But the evidence demonstrates. Let me read that again. The San Francisco Public Utilities Commission appears to be operating under the assumption that its sewage discharges receives treatment and don't cause harm. Doesn't cause harm. But the evidence demonstrates that those assumptions are wrong, Charles Chu said. A spokesperson for the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission denied the accusations. Of course they did. The city's combined sewer stormwater systems helps the environment, the spokesperson said, because it captures and treats the stormwater flows. Just bold-faced lying and saying the most ridiculous shit that anybody will. What did you just say? The shit and piss helps the environment? Okay. Unbelievable. The SFPUC spokesperson wrote to KRON 4, across the Bay, when it rains, urban storm runoff picks up trash and contaminants as it flows untreated to the San Francisco Bay and other bodies of water. San Francisco, however, doesn't do that. Oh, they're trying to say, no, that's Oakland, you guys. That's not us. That's not us in San Francisco. That's Oakland across the Bay. These scumbags, while other coastal cities in California have separate sewer and stormwater systems, most of San Francisco is served by a combined sewer system. That's right. San Francisco sewer system, super old. Combined sewer system. This combined system provides greater environmental benefits because it captures and treats most stormwater in the same high standards that apply to wastewater from homes and businesses before releasing it into the Bay or ocean. Other cities and counties in the Bay Area don't treat their stormwater before allowing it to flow into the Bay. San Francisco, on the other hand, is removing pollutants that other cities don't. You're full of shit. Oh, these people are the worst. SFPUC's statement continues. San Francisco developed its wet weather control facilities under the EPA and Regional Water Board oversight. The system handles most rainstorms as well. Some extreme storms can stress the capacity of the system, requiring partially treated discharges. When discharges do occur, they consist overwhelmingly of stormwater. The flows are conveyed through collection systems infrastructure that provide treatment consisting of settling prior to the discharge through the outfalls to remove dirt, grit, and trash. The outfalls themselves are equipped with baffle and wear systems designed to catch floatable trash and solids, which are ultimately sent to one of our treatment plants after stormwater flows subside. We're a public utility with a strong track record of environmental stewardship. Oh, you scumbags. We've been keeping the runoff pollutants from entering the Bay for generations. We'll stand behind our environmental track record anywhere, including in a court of law. So they're just bold-faced lying to your face again. Just like Gavin Newsom when he tells you how great the economy is, go to the grocery store, everything's fine. The economy's great, you guys. It's the same gaslighting that you expect from all of these politicians that progressives continue to vote for, even though California elections are rigged as hell. So I'm not sure that it is people that are actually voting for this. Like, California elections are rigged in every possible way. Every possible way that could be ripe for fraud has been put into place. Just the mail-in ballots. We didn't do mail-in ballots before 2020. Remember? The only reason it was done, the only reason the mail-in ballots thing was put in place is because 2 weeks to slow the spread. Everybody's got to stay home. Got to try to save grandma. That's what the mail-in ballots were put in place for the 2020 election. and now they're just here to stay. And I guess it's totally cool that we're 10 days after the election and still all the votes aren't counted. Do you guys know that? Still all the votes aren't counted in my election. They're only like 90% counted in the election that I was in. It's the whole thing is so incredibly fraudulent. Mail-in ballots, no voter ID, ballot harvesting. You got these drop boxes. You got a month to vote. They start counting the vote before election day. And then they still have however long they decide to count the votes, just however long they want. And again, mail-in ballots by themselves are ripe with fraud. And also, Gavin Newsom made hand counting ballots illegal unless it's for Prop 1, and he sends out emails to all his Democrat constituents saying, "Hey, remember to check your signature verification. Your vote might not have been counted. You got to check all that stuff." But Republicans didn't get anything. Gavin's trying everything he can to get this Prop 1 passed. All of the primary should be thrown out, all of it. And I'm not saying I think I would win. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I only got 2%, but all of the primaries should be thrown out. The whole thing is fraudulent. The entire election. There's no way anybody could say that the California 2024 primary election was legit. It's fraudulent in every possible way that you can look at it. It's absurdly laughable at this point when you look at all of the shenanigans going on with California elections. That's when they say, "You guys voted for it." It's like, no, I don't think we did. I don't think we did vote for this. I think California is a totalitarian state and we don't have a voice. We don't have any recourse to all this nonsense. Okay, sorry, I got fired up. Let's talk about more ways that California is screwing all of us. Matty Bracco, the green push is super weird that people can't see the contradiction to it. Yeah, it's insane. Casey Martin, the raped lady, has Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, seriously. And cognitive dissonance. Just, yeah, it's insane. Cousin Eddie approves. Who's cousin Eddie? I'm sorry, I don't get your references because I'm not as smart as you. Leftists are abusers. I wouldn't beat you if I wouldn't beat you if I didn't you. I'm sorry, I don't get that one. Glenn Dean. That how Nancy Pelosi keeps getting reelected. Yeah, it's how Gavin, Bonta, all these horrible politicians, London Breed. I mean, yes, I believe that California elections are 100% fraudulent, just straight up. It's in so many ways, it's just absurd how ridiculous California elections are. But let's go over to another way that California is screwing the crap out of us. How you guys liking your electricity bills? I know I'm not. I got my power turned off because I couldn't pay the bill. Things are super tough for tons of people everywhere. I want to, if you guys are watching, if you want to give that like button a tap, be greatly helpful. If you give the like button a tap, repost this on, if you're watching on X, subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to my Rumble, all that stuff. Best way to help the show by far. All right, let's go over to the California Globe. This is, they're a great follow. They report on stuff that nobody else reports on, like the Klamath River Dam destruction that they did when they got rid of those 3 dams on the Klamath River and killed all the salmon that they said they were destroying the dams to save the salmon, but they killed all the salmon, and they're killing deer because they're getting stuck in the mud because the water levels drop so much. Yeah, anyway, they reported on that. So now they're reporting on this. Californians paying 140% more for electricity than other states. How does that make you feel, guys? How does that make you feel? 140% more. These are Governor Gavin Newsom's policies. He owns it. By Kathy Grimes. This is from March 14th. So Katie Grimes, I'm sorry. Electricity in Taft, California costs 275% more than what electricity costs in Bullhead City, Arizona. While residents of Los Angeles and San Francisco may feel comfortably smug hundreds of miles away from Kern County City, it is rare to get a side-by-side comparison of energy bills in neighboring states. How could this be? In March of 2023, the California Assembly jammed SBX 1-2, Governor Newsom's gas tax, through an expediting hearing, pretending that it was enough exposure to the public, and debated the bill and voted on it. Governor Gavin Newsom signed the bill. Gavin Newsom's gas tax also created a new panel of unelected bureaucrats with subpoena power to investigate oil and gas companies, impose penalties, new costs and regulations, which would inevitably lead to gas shortages, rationing, and price spikes. The bill created a new government agency to arbitrarily decide how much profit oil and gas businesses are allowed to make, disrupting California's energy market and threatening the reliability of our state's fuel supply. Get it? You guys, our gas could be the cheapest in the nation. We could supply the entire nation with gas if we wanted to, but we're not. Instead, we have the highest prices in the nation, and we're not using the crude oil that we sit on top of. Dave Knower is a mayor of Taft. I'm sorry, Dave Knower is the mayor of Taft and also has a home in Bullhead, Arizona. Okay, so that's why we know this. The electricity bills mentioned above are his. The Globe talked once again to the mayor Knower about California Gavin Newsom's draconian SBX 1-2. It sounds like a nefarious bill, doesn't it? SBX 1-2. And the new it sounds like a COVID variant. And the new agency is created to decide oil and gas industry profits. The Green Agenda. In addition to Gavin Newsom's $310 billion budget and $75 million budget deficit, $75 million, Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Associates President John Kupel warned us last summer that the legislature is also advancing a $15 million climate bond to appear on the ballot sometime in 2024, a Green Agenda climate tax. Oh boy. Okay. The Green Agenda pushed by radical environmentalists in California is on steroids and is making food, cars, energy, and homes unaffordable. The radical greenies are responsible for their no forest management policies, which ignite into California's annual wildfire season. The radical greenies are also responsible for the government-created water shortage. The Green Agenda is planning to completely shut down the extraction of California's wealth of natural resources, oil and natural gas. So they don't manage the forests. They shut down they don't allow us to pull the crude oil out of the ground that we sit on top of. We sit on top of a lot of crude. We could supply the entire country with gas if we so pleased. And on top of this offshore wind project that they have. And so instead of the offshore wind project, I talk about it all the time. It's going to be an absolute disaster, and we have to pay for it up front. Energy prices are going to spike even more. So people that make, high $100,000, $200,000 a year, they can weather this storm. When this offshore wind project hits, what are you going to do when you have $700 electricity bills? So they've already pushed the top of the top tax bracket out of California. Everybody's leaving. Why would they continue paying 15% tax? Just California alone. So now they're going to start going after the people that are making, that aren't rich, but are doing really well. The people that are making high $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. You're not rich in California if you're making that much money. It's like, yeah, it's a good living, but you're definitely not rich by any stretch of the imagination. Anyway, Mayor Knower reported that in a meeting in McKittrick, California, and in Kern County in 2019, after oil seepage, Governor Newsom said, "My bias is consistent about the oil and gas industry." So you know what's crazy? So Gavin Newsom always rails against the oil and gas industry, and he wants to do this offshore wind project in the name of sticking it to the oil and gas industry. Who do you think is behind the offshore wind project? And what makes all these products? The oil and gas companies. It's all petroleum products. It's the same players. Gavin Newsom is lying through his teeth. He's lining the pockets of the same people. The oil and gas companies are just jumping on the Green Agenda. That's all that's happening. It's just a sleight of hand. That's all this is. When they spoke after the meeting, Knower said the governor what he saw on his tour around McKittrick. Knower said the governor answered by offering disclaimers. "I did not know that water comes out with oil extraction. I did not know there was heavy oil and light oil. I did not know heavy oil can be bagged and used." Knower said Newsom is a slave to his bias, in spite of emerging facts, and he's a slave to his ego, Knower said. He went into the issue in his bias fully intact. While Governor Newsom was fairly conciliatory at the time, he did comment that the oil and gas is our past and renewables are our future. Yeah, that's because it's going to line his pockets and his friends' pockets. Evidence of the bias is very clear when you observe Newsom's appointees to the California Public Utilities Commission, all like-minded rabid environmentalists who equally share his bias and toe his party line. The CPUC commissioners set and accept electricity rates, and Newsom has appointed all 5. The CPUC says our 5 governor-appointed commissioners, as well as our staff, are dedicated to ensuring that consumers have safe, reliable utility service at reasonable rates, protecting against fraud and promoting the health of California's economy. So again, just like we're not dumping sewage into the bay, they're saying your energy's not that expensive and it's reliable too. That's why you pay 175% more than our neighboring state in Arizona, and your power goes off every summer with rolling blackouts. It's madness. They just gaslight the hell out of you. These people are freaking psychopaths. Mayor Noah directed the Globe to the Energy Information Agency and said, going back to 2018, California paid 24% more for electricity than other states. In 2019, it grew to 139%. In 2020, it was 131%. And in 2024, it is 140%. The cost of California's energy and energy poverty, he said, this rules out refiner margins. Noah showed me PG&E's January 1st, 2024 annual electricity true up and said PG&E has raised its energy prices 60% in the course of the last 2 years and a 23.8% in a single year. That's 10 times the CPI target for the feds to lower interest rates, Noah said. As for electricity across the California and Arizona border, As for electricity across the California-Arizona border, differing by 275%, Noah says that Arizona isn't exactly the lowest price state for electricity in the U.S., he said. Arizona only ranks 25th, right in the middle of the pack. So we're way above that. The whole point of this conversation, besides identifying the real culprits behind the highest in the nation oil and gas prices and the electricity prices, is where the poor, and particularly the working poor, are hit the hardest. As a percentage of their take-home income, they spend more on electricity and energy than anything else, and our unaffordable energy bills can make a family homeless the moment they can't pay the bill. And it's true. I mean, some of you guys might follow me because of the post that I put out about how, I'm sitting at home with my power turned off because I couldn't pay the bill. My bill was $1,300 for 3 months. $1,300. And remember, I was fired for refusing to wear a mask because of San Francisco's policies. It's everything California does is meant to ruin people. And that is, everybody says, why don't you move out of California all the time? It's, well, first of all, this is my home. I love my home. All the people I love are here. I don't know anybody anywhere else. Like, where would I go? And also, moving costs money. Moving costs tons of money. Where would I go? How am I going to come up with that money? And this is coming to a city near you. If Gavin becomes president, you think this won't come across the country? All of this wokeness in California, it's coming to a city near you. Somebody has to stay here and fight this bullshit. So after the spending billions on housing for the 180,000 homeless, drug-addicted, mentally ill in the state, I like this Katie chick, who still live on the streets, Noah said the United Way identified 3 million families who can't pay their utility bills. So yeah, that's the thing. As he robs Californians of their money to pay drug addicts who he's trying to make us homeless at the same time. Families driven to the edge of homelessness. It's absolutely true. These high electricity and energy costs also drive up the cost of everything else. Exactly. The cost to run a school, a grocery store, every mall, car dealer, doctor's office, etc. Every business in the state is paying more for electricity and passing the cost on to the customers. Gavin Newsom says oil and gas companies are gouging people, yet nowhere says the governor is absolutely indifferent to the real hardships as well as the real root causes. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, granted, PG&E is making billions and billions, and they are probably gouging us in a certain respect, but they're probably still gouging us on the same level that they were before. They're just, they're dealing with all these new policies that they got to deal with. Oh, so frustrating. All right, this next article is not as long, but let's check with the chat here. It's infuriating. Glenn Dean, it's all by design, hammering the middle class. Absolutely. Casey Martin, cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation approves of dumping sewage down the storm drain. Oh, I don't remember that. I haven't watched that in a long time. Matty Bracco, Kevin Kiley is based. Yeah, but why did he vote for the kill switch in new cars? He voted for that. It's sad you are just talking energy, not even touching housing and rental costs. No, it's all of it's the same. All of it's one and the same. Psychopaths, it's never enough money they can make. I'm all for capitalism, but not off of power, water, and gas. Well, that's a whole different conversation. All right, let's continue. Let's talk about some gun stuff. So, so Gavin Newsom continues to try to disarm us on top of all this other stuff. So San Diego federal judge strikes down California law limiting high-frequency gun purchases. So state lawmakers say limiting gun purchases to once every 30 days deters trafficking and straw purchases, but judge rules there is no historical precedent for such a ban. They want to make it so you can only buy a gun every 30 days. I mean, buying a gun every 30 days, I mean, man, that's a lot of money and that's a lot of guns, but go for it if you want to. I mean, why who gives the state who gives the state the authority to stop this? It's okay. We'll read the article. In what is becoming a familiar pattern, a San Diego federal judge ruled Monday that the California gun law is unconstitutional because of the lack of any historically similar laws. The latest regulation to be overturned, though, it will remain in effect for the time as being pending appeal. Yeah. So that's what happens with all of these California gun laws. They pass whatever they want, no matter how unconstitutional it is, and then it gets rejected, but then Rob Bonta appeals it, and then we're just stuck with it. We're just stuck with this unconstitutional California gun law, and they'll lock you up for 10 years if you break that unconstitutional gun law. In the state's ban on high-frequency firearms purchases, otherwise known as the one gun a month law, it restricted California residents from buying more than one firearm within a 30-day period. Oh, not that long ago, I bought 3 guns at once. I mean, it's probably almost 2 years ago now, I guess. State lawmakers said the regulation was aimed at deterring straw purchases, which is when someone buys a gun on behalf of someone else who cannot legally make the same purchase. Well, that's already against the law. Why do you need another law to enforce something that's illegal? You're not allowed to buy a gun for somebody else. It's already illegal. Why do you? That makes no sense whatsoever. A group of firearms owners, licensed gun dealers, and firearms rights organizations sued the state, arguing the prohibition infringed on their Second Amendment rights. Damn right it did. U.S. District Judge William Hayes sided with the plaintiffs on a 24-page ruling granting a motion of summary judgment. Defendants have not met their burden of producing a well-established and representative historical analog to the one gun a month law, Hayes wrote. The lack of historical equivalent was key to the case in which it was key to the case and has been the key to the Second Amendment cases since June 2022, when the U.S. Supreme Court issued its decision on the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association v. Bruin. That decision changed the analysis for Second Amendment regulations, introducing a text history and tradition standard that places nearly singular importance on laws that date back to the time period around when the Second Amendment was ratified. Courts considering whether modern gun regulations are legal must make their decisions based on the Second Amendment's plain text, and must ensure new laws are consistent with the nation's historical traditions of firearm regulation, according to the Bruin decision. Under that analysis, federal judge in San Diego alone have the past year overturned California's laws banning assault rifles, outlawing billy clubs, imposing background checks for ammunition purchases, banning certain unsafe handguns. All of those rulings are under appeal with the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. So, yeah, there's a period of time where they called it Freedom Week when we can only buy 10-round magazines here. It's insane. You can only have 10-round magazines here, so you can't buy them. Ammunition. You can't get ammunition sent to your front door. You could for like a week when this law was shot down, but yeah, you got to go through a background check for ammo. Another week, another California gun law declared unconstitutional by a federal court. Cody Wisniewski, an attorney for the Firearms Policy Coalition. Okay, they're the best. The Firearms Policy Coalition is rad, and they follow me. They're awesome. I'm trying to get this guy Greg on my show from the Firearms Policy Coalition. One of the plaintiffs in the case said in a statement, you guys should all follow the Firearms Policy Coalition, and if you donate to the NRA, stop donating to them. Donate to the Firearms Policy Coalition, because the NRA doesn't do shit. California's one gun a month law directly violates California's residents' right to acquire arms and has no bias in history, says Wisniewski, who is also vice president of the General Counsel for Firearms Policy Coalition's Action Foundation. Given it seems certain California will refuse to learn its lesson, we look forward to continuing to strike down its gun control regime and defending this victory. A spokesperson for California Attorney General Rob Bonta, the defendant in the case, said Bonta's office is still evaluating the decision, but reiterated that pending appeal, the law limiting firearm purchases to one every 30 days remains in effect at the time. In his ruling, Hayes noted that the Supreme Court's Bruin decision has left the door open for more nuanced approach to the analysis of a weapons law, which is dealing with unprecedented societal concerns of dramatic technological changes that were not present when the Second Amendment and the 14th Amendment and its equal protections clauses were ratified. All right, that's enough of that. I think you guys get the picture on that one. So another California gun law shot down. You know what? I'm not gonna read this article. We're already running a little long, and be quite honest with you, my throat is starting to hurt. California mom alleged ringleader behind $8 million retail theft that hit over 200 Ulta stores. So this lady, apparently she was running an organized crime syndicate of robbing makeup. So you guys can look into that. KTVU Fox 2 is reporting on that one. But let's continue on the gun laws thing and the crime and how Gavin Newsom's disarming everybody. So this is from Kevin Dalton. He says, why don't more people stop felons from looting stores? Because odds are they will end up in the hospital fighting for their lives and needing a heart transplant. Just another day in California, just another day in Gavin Newsom's lawless California. Let's watch this video. This woman tries to stop people from stealing, I think, makeup. So these people might work for the lady that was running the ring, but this is what happened.
The surveillance video captured the brutal attack. It shows 32-year-old Marlene Sandoval getting beaten. They grab her, and eventually the fight goes to the parking lot. This happened back on March 6th. 4 women went into M Beauty Supply store in Commerce. As they tried to take several items, Sandoval, who is the manager, tried to stop them. That's when the women push her. They get outside the store and continue to hit her, then slammed her to the ground.
Angry about those girls, you know what they doing just for peanuts, you know what I mean? Attack my little daughter.
The owner of the beauty store says he is stunned at such a brutal attack.
State's judicial system definitely needs to change. How the DA prosecutes these individuals should definitely be more aggressive.
Oh, you mean the Soros DAs? The DAs that were heavily funded and put into place by George Soros and refused to prosecute criminals? Those DAs? Like Chesa Boudin and Pamela Price out of Alameda County.
Sandoval is now in critical condition and fighting for her life. Her father said she suffered trauma and 2 heart attacks and will need a heart transplant. There's a GoFundMe account set up by the family to help with what could be very high medical expenses.
What a freaking horror story. All right, this is from Wall Street Apes. This is what you'll see just walking down the street in San Francisco. Just poop everywhere. Poop everywhere, guys. This woman, San Francisco resident.
There is so much poop on the sidewalks of San Francisco. Poop everywhere.
Trigger
I'm
warning.
just walking, and there's poop. Poop. There is just poop. Oh God. Poop. Oh God. Everywhere. Oh my God. Bro. Oh my goodness. Why is there poop everywhere? Oh my God. I feel like I've seen a lot of nasty stuff living in LA for the last 10 years, but I've never seen this much poop on sidewalks.
Oh no.
Oh my God, dude. Ah.
Yeah, no, the poop map is real. It's absolutely real. There is shit and piss everywhere. And again, the guys that clean this up, they don't go and like use a pooper scooper like they do at the dog park. No, they hose it into the streets and it goes down the storm drain. And all those guys that have to clean up the poop, the shit and piss, they have to get paid. Who's paying them? You are. You're paying them. San Francisco. Unreal. So continue with California crime. So crime is now drifting into the suburbs, and this is over in Alamo, I believe. Yep, Alamo. Alamo is a very rich area. Very rich area. Not even that close to Oakland. There's like it's through the Caldecott Tunnel. Caldecott Tunnel, right? Yeah, and it's on the other side of like St. Mary's College. Right next to Walnut Creek. It's a Walnut Creek, Danville, San Ramon, very, very well-to-do area. Well, now people are being followed home. So this woman was followed home. Check this video out. So guys jump out with wait a minute. That barrel length looked too short, and that stock didn't look right, and he had a pistol grip. Why didn't Gavin Newsom's gun laws stop this? Huh, weird. Sorry, there's no audio on this video, guys. Yeah, these guys backed into her driveway. They followed her home and robbed her at gunpoint. I think you guys get the picture. I'll see what this is from Henry K. Lee. Several men, one armed with the AK-47 type rifle. Cool, Henry. Followed a 61-year-old woman in her Mercedes G-Wagon. Oh yeah, that's a badass car too. Yeah, so they identify. Okay, she's got a G-Wagon. She must be rich. They follow her home. To her Alamo home to rob her of jewelry before taking off in a Lexus IS 350. Contra Costa sheriff spots car on Highway 24 but loses it. Victim speaks out. Okay. They lost the car. Okay. So, here's the footage of them arriving. They backed in because they
recognized them, and two men jumped out with.
Surveillance video shows a 61-year-old woman pulling her Mercedes G-Wagon into her garage in Alamo on Tuesday afternoon. About a minute later, this Lexus IS 350 slowly backs into her driveway. The woman thought she knew them at first.
And when I realized I didn't recognize them, and two men jumped out with a gun. And when I realized that I was being robbed, I just started screaming.
One man had an AK-47 type rifle. We caught up with the woman on Wednesday. She did not want to be identified. She says she pleaded with the robbers.
Specifically said, I'm a mother, I have children, you have a mother and a father. Please don't hurt me.
They robbed her of her jewelry.
A Rolex watch and my diamond rings, my wedding rings, and my cross. diamond cross. It was all diamonds.
As the men got back into the Lexus driven by a third person, the woman was able to get a partial plate of the Lexus, a plate that belonged to a different car. Sheriff's deputies spotted the Lexus on Highway 24 in Orinda, but lost it as it headed toward the Caldecott Tunnel. Sheriff's detectives came to her home to document the stolen jewelry and collect evidence.
So they clearly came over from Oakland, going back through the tunnel.
Says she's not sure when they started following her, only that they ended up at her home on the grounds of the Round Hill Country Club. She says she's shaken up, but grateful that it's the only property that she lost.
I'm still in shock a little bit, but I think the takeaway from this is that we all have to be aware of our surroundings. And when you pull into your garage, don't get out, close your garage, and then get into your house.
She's a women's clothing store owner who wonders if she somehow could have inspired them to choose a different path.
That if I taught them business, or if they were taught young, that they would have a fruitful career and they wouldn't have to result in this behavior and land themselves in jail, if not worse.
Notice how she doesn't recommend that you should carry a firearm. And if somebody starts raising their barrel towards you, draw your firearm and light them up. Notice how she doesn't say that. That's the only way to solve this. Criminals need to start fearing their victims again. Everyone should be carrying firearms. A well-armed society is a polite society. Criminals do not follow gun laws. Okay, let's continue. Let's see what else we got. Oh, look, another robbery. Let's check this one out. So,
a barrage of gunfire disrupted a quiet residential neighborhood in San Lorenzo Monday morning around 3:30.
There were bullets that entered here on this 4x4 and exited here.
Joey Harker tells me he walked out to his front steps after receiving an alert from a security camera that showed someone was in his driveway trying to steal his car.
That was a supercharger on that motor.
2019 Dodge sedan that was parked in the driveway.
SRT.
They shot through here.
He says one bullet.
So they targeted that car for a specific reason. It's an SRT Charger. It's a badass car.
Flew right by his head and shattered the front glass door.
And I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I looked down and I just saw a muzzle flash. They shot at me.
So in my personal opinion, if you walk out or if you see somebody trying to break into your car that's in your driveway, it's your car, you should be able to walk out and shoot them with no warning. Yes, I believe that. And yes, I believe personal property is worth somebody's life. If you are willing to steal somebody else's property, you don't value your own life. And yes, I feel it would be 100% justified to shoot that person to get them to stop stealing your property, especially your car when your livelihood depends on your car. Yeah, 100%. Like no warning. You see the guy walks out and says, "What are you doing?" And they immediately start shooting at him. It's lucky he's still alive. Instead of saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" He should be completely within his legal rights to shoot them twice. I don't. Yeah, just shoot them. Mag dump if you want. I don't care at that point. You're on his property. You're trying to steal his property. You don't value your life, and they should be able to end that threat with violence.
Walker says 2 people fired shots at his car and his home repeatedly. Bullets flew into his home, hitting the large screen TV in the living room.
They could have killed his wife. They could have killed his kids. So yeah, 100%. I mean, you don't know what the threat is. These guys are breaking it. People need to. I'll bite my tongue a little.
Bit shocked, but more angry than anything. This is my home. This is our safe space.
A safe space.
This is our safe space. All right. Okay. I think it's safe to assume who he voted for.
Violated. 1 bullet hit the back bedroom, ricocheting off a shoe rack and narrowly missing his 5-year-old daughter who had been sleeping.
I threw her on the floor, got on her, covered her with my body, and dialed 911. I'm not okay with it. I want their life on my hands.
So a lot of people are very anti-gun until something like this happens to them. I would be very curious to see if they went and purchased their first firearm. I'm assuming they don't have firearms. I'm just assuming that. You see somebody breaking into your car, you're just going to open the door and say, "Hey, what you doing?" Like, you should be opening your door and saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" If you're not just going to light them up. It's weapon drawn at them as soon as that muzzle starts raising towards you. Yeah, mag dump all day long, especially if he's got a rifle and all you got is a handgun. Well, I mean, leave it up to you guys what weapon of choice is yours, but continue.
Just like how her life was on their hands.
Hawker and his wife Charlene estimated that the ordeal lasted 2 minutes. At one point, he went back outside after he heard the suspect vehicle drive away, only to see it return to pick up the 2 gunmen who had been hiding behind Hawker's car. They tell me investigators found 31 shell casings from military-style weapons.
So unreal. It was like a movie.
Military style, the weapons were fully auto?
Movie. And we're just happy to be here. Happy to be alive, safe.
The couple wants the suspects caught and held accountable. Hawker says law enforcement told him they were able to follow the suspect's car long enough to get the license plate, but that the car was stolen from the Sacramento area. They were not able to stop the car, and so far, no one's been arrested.
Nobody will be arrested, and if they are arrested, they will be released by, where was this? If it's Pamela Price, probably be released. It's Gavin Newsom wants you disarmed so criminals can have guns and rob you.
In Alameda County, Amber Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Okie dokie. We'll continue. Got another similar situation. Okay, so this is from, well, actually, no, that was the last of those situations. So this is from Michelle Tandler, who lives out there in San Francisco, I believe. I don't think she likes me too much either, but that's okay. I like her. So she says, serious question. When SF is so passionately anti-guns and pro-gun control, why are residents seemingly okay with the drug dealers running around with illegal handguns? Aren't these the most dangerous scenarios? Seems like there are no consequences for unlicensed carry. Huh. Well, unless you're like a law-abiding citizen. If you're dealing drugs and you get caught with the guns, you'll be fine. You'll be released with a court date. And what she's probably not realizing here is these are probably illegal immigrants from Honduras that are getting arrested. Because the drug dealers that are in San Francisco, by and large, the Hondos, I always talk about them. They are illegal immigrants from Honduras connected to cartels. And she highlights the San Francisco Chronicle article. It just says plainclothes officers also seized 11 firearms and recovered 8 vehicles in January and February. Unbelievable. No, I'm sorry. It's completely unbelievable. Oh, okay. I do have one more scenario. So this is what's happening with the bipping. So I don't know. This dude probably had a gun, but he just didn't need it here. So this woman's just driving down the street, a residential street, and she's got traffic in front of her. So she's got to come to a stop, and look what happens to her. This is just, imagine this is how your morning goes. Still takes the purse. So she's on a residential street, has to come to a stop because there's traffic in front of her. They go up, break her window while she's driving the car, reaches in, tries to take the purse. She accelerates and just ends up running into the car in front of her, totaling her car. Then the same criminal reaches back in and steals the purse and runs off to the races. So now she's got no purse and no car. Gavin Newsom's California. So I also feel that in this situation, that if a bystander is witnessing this, in order to stop that criminal, should be allowed to shoot him. Yes, I 100% believe that. That if a bystander witnessed this, walking down the sidewalk, sees the criminal running away with her purse after witnessing him break her window and take it from her car seat, he should be able to shoot the man to stop him. I 100% believe that. Rob Bonta. Okay. Oh, I didn't even show it. I'm an idiot. I'm a freaking moron. Okay, I got to play it again. Now you guys got to see it. Sorry. I explained the whole scenario to you, but now you get to actually watch it. Yep, you should be able to shoot that guy. Sorry, guys. Totally screwed up on that one. Oh, boy. So freaking frustrating. Yeah. How do you stop this nonsense? All right. That's enough of the California shenanigans. Man, there's a few other things I want to get into, and I don't know if I'm going to have time because I'm cutting this at 2 hours. So let's continue here. See if I can get... Let's see. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll talk about this one really quick. Go over to Raw's alerts. There was a mass shooting today, and I haven't heard a lot of reporting on it. You guys hear a lot of reporting on this mass shooting? Because it's more like a family annihilator type situation. Go over to Raw's alerts here. So this happened earlier. What do we got? So law enforcement are looking for an active shooter as multiple people have been shot and killed in Falls Township, Pennsylvania. Currently, numerous law enforcement and other agencies are responding to an active shooter situation in Falls Township, Pennsylvania. Here's the update. Okay. The active shooter, picture of him on screen. The active shooter suspect is named Andre Gordon. He is 26 years old and armed with an assault weapon. Police in Trenton have just found the carjacked Honda CRV, and SWAT teams are making entry into the house where it has been located, and the shooter is still at large. And the third update. As of 3:36 p.m. Eastern Time, investigators say 26-year-old Andre Gordon shot and killed his stepmother, 13-year-old sister, and the mother of his children in Bucks County before taking hostages and barricading himself inside the home in Trenton, New Jersey. SWAT teams are now trying to get the suspect out. You guys hearing about this? I'm hearing nothing but crickets about this on the news. Why aren't you guys hearing about this story? Why do you think that we are not hearing about this dude that murdered his mother, his 13-year-old sister, and the mother of his children? Why do you think you aren't hearing about this story? Why do you think, guys? Does it not fit a narrative? Might be. Okay, that's enough of that one. So that's happening. I don't know what the updates are on it. I don't know if they caught the guy. I don't know the updates. I'll have to look into it after this. What else we got? Oh, yeah. So this happened over in Massachusetts. I guess people are getting arrested for speech now. I mean, remember, you only are pro-free speech if you advocate for the free speech of speech that you find abhorrent, speech that you do not approve of, you do not agree with, and you do not like the individual speaking. You are only pro-free speech if you are advocating for them to be able to speak and say anything, as long as it's not a death threat to someone. Anything is allowed to be said. And yes, that includes racism. You're allowed to be racist. Yeah, it's not good. It's not nice. You shouldn't be racist, but it's not illegal. You're allowed to say whatever you want. With that said, let's go over to End Wokeness here. And it appears a group of 8th graders in Massachusetts are facing criminal charges after some racist messages are posted in a group chat. Let's watch this little video here.
This is a universal issue that we must face as one unified community.
Developing news now from Western Mass. A group of 8th graders facing criminal charges for allegedly setting up a mock slave auction on Snapchat. Boston 25 News reporter John Monahan live not far from the school. And John, the DA...
Okay, so that's clearly, not great. You shouldn't be doing mock slave auctions. I'd like to see what the messages really said now, because I'm very curious. Was this some sort of prank, some sort of joke? But again, even if it was, they're holding a actual mock slave auction. That speech isn't illegal, but they are making it illegal.
He calls this behavior vile.
That's right, he did, Vanessa, and he also said...
And yeah, it is vile. It's not illegal.
The fact this happened in a middle school is very unsettling. We also spoke to the mother of one of the victims here, and she tells us this alleged incident of a mock slave auction is not the only time her daughter has faced an incident of racial bullying. 6 classmates, 8th graders in Southwick, will face criminal charges for their alleged role in a mock slave auction, according to the Hampton County DA.
Several students uttered hateful and racist comments, including notions of violence toward people of color, racial slurs, derogatory pictures and videos, and a mock slave auction directed at 2 juveniles.
The mother of one of the students targeted, who spoke out when allegations first came to light, applauded the DA for filing charges. In a statement, she says, in part, "Your dedication to upholding justice in our community is commendable."
Upholding justice? Not upholding the law. They're just making new laws that go directly against the First Amendment.
And provides a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness of this traumatic incident. The incident took place on Snapchat among several 8th grade students on February 8th and 9th. It was reported to school officials on February 9th, and an investigation began.
Which aims to hold accountable those who committed provable criminal acts.
Provable criminal acts. I would like to see what law they broke. What law was broken there? I mean, unless I'm missing something, this does not seem like something that could be prosecuted for. But what do I know? All right, I might have time. Yeah, I might actually have. Yeah, okay, I got a couple of minutes. So Norm Finkelstein was trending, and that's because Lex Friedman put on a debate between Norm Finkelstein and Destiny. Primarily, they were who were debating. Destiny is this leftist that is insufferable. I can't stand him. He's a pompous asshole. He always interrupts people and talks over people. And they were debating the Israel-Palestine thing. And Finkelstein, if you can't tell by the name, pretty sure he's a Jew. So he's actually arguing the side of Palestine, saying that Israel is not justified in what they're doing. And he's been arguing this for, I think, decades. But there's some clips that have been going viral of Destiny and Finkelstein. And Finkelstein's just, I mean, whatever they are arguing, it's just nice seeing somebody handing Destiny his own ass. So, I mean, that's obviously you're not seeing who is right and who is wrong there, but it's just, it's sort of a joy. It brings joy to my heart seeing this. But here's another quick clip from it. It's only 36 seconds long. It's talking about when the IDF shot 4 kids on a beach. And this is what they're debating here. And Finkelstein does sort of wreck him in this. I listened to the first 2 hours of this. It's a 5-hour debate put on by Lex Friedman. So you guys check it out. But yeah, I listened to the first 2 hours, but I didn't get all the way through it. He called it a Hamas compound. So it's just nice seeing somebody wreck Destiny. And he did get absolutely wrecked in this debate. I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight, but it's bad. I said earlier, it's like watching a cyclist try to compete in a Formula One race. He's so out of his element. And there's a point where he's talking about how they've probably read 10,000 books on the topic with them 3 together, the other 2 people that are in there. But Destiny is just, he's so incredibly far out of his element. Like, he didn't learn about any of this stuff probably until I did, but I'm not going to try and debate Finkelstein over here. So, all right. I think that's oh wait, no, I got a little more. Here's Finkelstein talking a little more. So yeah, let's listen to this 1 minute clip of, oh wait, did I stop sharing? I did. Dang it. Share this again. I got like, I'll go a little over 2 hours. That's fine. That is okay. We'll go a little bit over. I want to play this one more clip of Finkelstein talking. Yes. Wait, no, not that one. Yes, this one. He does not think too highly of Israel, but again, remember, you can't call him anti-Semitic because he's a Jew.
So I have very little sympathy for what has become of that state. It's a satanic state. You know, you look at the polls, 60% of Israelis, 60% say Israel's not using enough force in Gaza. It's not using enough force in Gaza. If you look at every metric out there, every metric, intensity of bombing, payload of bombs, imprecision of bombs, destruction of civilian infrastructure, ratio of civilians to combatants killed, ratio of children to total numbers killed, ratio of women and children to total numbers killed. If you look at every metric, there have been so many studies now done. What Israel is doing in Gaza is in a class completely its own. You know, it doesn't even compare. It doesn't even compare remotely to the carpet bombing of German cities during World War II, the Allied carpet bombing of German cities, the Allied bombing of Dresden. Doesn't compare.
And yeah, I know a lot of you guys disagree with my opinion and stance on the whole Israel-Gaza situation, and I don't care. When the dust settles, everybody is going to have to look at what Israel's done and what some of you guys have cheered for. And it's a disaster. It's a humanitarian disaster, and it does look like genocide to me. It looks, and again, I'll say it, it looks like they are going to completely level Gaza, push everyone out of Gaza, and do a complete 100% land grab. That's what I believe is going to happen. And everybody's going to have to look at it when they're done. So just wanted to end on a happy note, you know, because I know how that lifts the spirits of everybody talking about that. Oh, did I not show that one either? Damn it. Oh, no Finkelstein video played at all? Man, damn it. Okay, I got to play that one. Okay, let me play it. Okay, now I will play it. Now I have to. Damn it. That was very anticlimactic, wasn't it? I clicked it. Why didn't it play? Not one of them played? Not any of them? Oh, man. Okay, tell me if you guys see this.
So I have very little sympathy for what has become of that state. It's a satanic state. You know,
you guys seeing this one?
Look at the polls. 60% of Israelis, 60% say Israel's not using enough force in Gaza. It's not using enough force in Gaza. If you look at
oh, so you guys did see this one? Damn it. All right, I guess I screwed up. All right, you don't need to see the Destiny one. You guys go just search Finkelstein. You'll find all the Destiny ones right now. I'm not going to go too far over. So, all right. Okay. You guys get the point. Okay. Yep. That's all I'm going to talk about tonight. Yeah. Scarlett didn't, here. Scarlett, come say hi to everybody. Come on. Don't just palm me. All right. Scarlett wanted to say hi to you. Okay. That's all she's got. You want to come up? Okay. All right. You guys got to get a little Scarlett in your life before I leave. We'll end on a happy note. Okay. All right. I know you're hungry. Okay. Go lay down. Go lay down, mama. All right. I got to feed the dog. Okay, everybody. Matty Bracco, Trilovision, Glenn Dean, V1800. I didn't even see you in here earlier. They should have mobbed the departments. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I didn't get caught up on the chat. Northside, nice to see you. Yeah, man, a whole bunch of you guys on the Rumble side tonight. I haven't seen Terry Wallace in a while. I think, hopefully I didn't lose her. I know I'm losing some people with my whole Israel stance, but it is what it is. All right, that is all I got for the evening, but you know how we do it. Before we get out of here, we got to read a joke from the greatest book ever written, The Truth About Chuck Norris. Let's see what we got tonight. Okay. All right, you guys ready for the Chuck Norris joke of the evening? I don't even need to read it. I got it memorized. It's just a one-liner. Okay. Chuck Norris never hides. He only seeks. Stay CaliBased.